What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to try a new product from Milk Makeup that I'm going to be very real with you about. I posted on my stories to ask if you guys wanted to see me try this because I just felt like somebody needed to know why, you know? Historically, whenever I have purchased a product because I feel like we all need to know why, it hasn't really turned out well. But I'm hopeful. The product in question, in case you haven't read the title of this video or looked at the thumbnail, are the Milk Color Chalks. These, I'm going to be real with you, I don't understand the purpose of them. Like, I see the appeal of like a powder eyeshadow stick, but like the way these are set up, I don't really feel like they're that convenient. So we're going to find out today. And if they like perform amazingly or something, fine, I'll allow it. But you know what? It's gonna have to be really good. The names of them are super adorable, and that kind of also sold me on trying them. The colors that I got are Hopscotch and Double Dutch. The Double Dutch shade is like a dark chocolatey brown, and Hopscotch is kind of like a highlight shade, and you can use these like multi-use. They don't have to be used as an eyeshadow. So I'm gonna try Hopscotch on my eyes, but also like as a highlight for the rest of my face, and Double Dutch is gonna be what we put on the eyes. Now, there are also a lot more interesting shades than these, but when I bought them on Sephora, they weren't available. Like, they didn't have the green, they didn't have any of the brighter colors. It was really only the neutrals that were there. I already did most of the rest of my makeup, in case you guys are wondering. Still loving the ABH Brow Freeze. I'm pretty sure it just like gives me an actual facelift at this point. Really into it, and I've been using it literally every day of my life, in case you were curious if I still like it as much as I did when I tried it. That was one I was skeptical about that did work out well, so maybe we're gonna like, maybe today's gonna be okay. Anyways, I'm very rambly today, so sorry for that, but let's get into it. First, video chapters will be at the bottom of the screen. I will list everything else I used on my face in the description. Don't forget to subscribe because I would love to keep you around for more videos. Go ahead and leave a like on this video if you enjoy it because it's very helpful for me. And pretty much that's it. Also, new merch is coming soon. I haven't taken the Barbara stuff out yet, so if you want that, it will be there for a little bit longer. I got somebody that I absolutely love to illustrate something specifically for my channel, and I am so stoked, and I think you guys are really gonna like it, so I'm excited to show you. It will be soon. I need to get samples first to make sure it's good, though. Anywho, I'm gonna pull my hair back and zoom in a little bit, and we're just gonna get right into it and try these Milk Makeup Color Chalks, literal sidewalk chalk for your face, on my face in this video right now. Alright, first things first, I'm going to unbox this. Now, I already took these out of the box and looked at them because I was just too damn curious, especially because the packaging is a little strange. The first thing that struck me about them was, holy shit, how small they are. So this is the plastic tube that it comes in, and there is a stick of makeup chalk inside this plastic tube wrapped in a piece of paper. How is that convenient? I'm not certain. So far, doesn't seem convenient at all. And this is what the stick of color chalk looks like on the inside. It's simply wrapped in one piece of paper. You're supposed to peel the paper down and then store it back in the tube when you're done. Now, let me tell you something. Already all over my fingers, already a mess. So, you know? However, if for some reason this looks absolutely beautiful on the eyes, on the skin, maybe. But then again, does it need to be in this packaging for that to be the case? Probably not. I'm gonna pull up the website and like just check the different ways that they suggest you use this just to make sure I'm getting the most out of it. They say on the Sephora website that we can glide directly onto eyelids, cheeks, and lips, blend with your fingertips or a brush, pigmented eyeshadow or eyeliner, use on lips for a diffused powdery look or on cheeks as a metallic highlight or blush, use with a wet brush for intensified payoff. Okay, so what we're gonna do first with this color is I'm going to try applying it like chalk directly to my eyes, because I feel like that's what we all want to do when we see this packaging. That's what we want to experience from this. We want to just draw on our face. That's why they knew that's what we wanted to do, and that's why we would buy it to see. Okay, we've got intensity and pigmentation for sure. I don't feel like I have a terrible amount of control over where this is going, and it's definitely all over my fingers. But that doesn't look bad. Like, it's going on pretty nicely. I'm gonna grab a blending brush. This is the same brush I used to put a little bit of bronzer through my crease before I started this, and I'm just start blending the edges of that out. I also like could not really even get it on the inner part of my eye here because the chalk portion is too big and a little bit got above my crease, but it is blending real nice. I'm gonna grab a NABLA dab and smudge brush and just pick up some of the product from the stick on the brush and then try applying it that way. Need a little bit more control, but I'm not mad at the payoff we got. And it's a nice soft kind of like sable brown. I haven't done like just a plain brown smoky eye, like a soft one, in a really long time. So like I am enjoying that. Like I feel sultry and sexy already, but that just has to do more with the act of doing like a soft brown smoky eye rather than the product itself. Okay, let's go back over the edge. I don't think the actual chalk application does anything for it whatsoever, but the actual product is working fine. I'm gonna grab this champagne shade Hopscotch, and I just want to show you guys what I'm talking about as far as like the messiness is concerned before we like get in there and use it. Like if you look, even the cap has chalk all over it already. There's no convenience to this. There's just none. I'm going to take a Luxie 141 mini brush, and I'm going to take a little bit of this color and put it in the center of the lid. I want to see how it layers over the other shade. Ooh, okay, that color is real pretty. And it went on pretty intense over that brown, which I wasn't expecting. What I was gonna say is we may need to wet it, but I do think what I'm gonna do is wet it to use it on the inner corner. Also, even on a brush, was not that precise, which is interesting. It's not giving me a lot of fallout, but it's like, it comes off the stick real easy is what I'm trying to say. All right, I'm gonna pick some of that up on that same Luxie 141, and I'm gonna wet it this time and try it on the inner corner and see how that pays off for us. See what kind of payoff we're getting over here. Pack that in there. Okay, all right, that's intense. But again, spreading out quite a bit more than I feel like a normal eyeshadow would if I just tapped it like that, which doesn't look bad, but I do enjoy having the option of precision as well. It's also like, it's like intensely shimmery, but it's not an intense amount of color payoff. Like they kind of blend out to be very soft, which again is fine, but maybe not always what I want. Take that pencil brush and go back into Double Dutch, and we use that to smoke out the lower lash line. Note that almost nothing I'm doing on the eyes is directly from the stick, which in my opinion sort of defeats the purpose a little bit, but that does look pretty at the same time, so I'm a little friggin' torn. Like that blends so easy. This is a pointy, stiff brush, and it is really easy to blend. I'm gonna go through my waterline with a brown pencil. This is the color Woodsy from the ColourPop Raw Beauty Christie collection. I'm just gonna use that right through my waterline. I'm gonna finish up the other eye and add some lashes, and then we're gonna move on to using this champagne shade as a highlight on the rest of my face. I have hope for it as that, you know? I'm thinking that might be where its bread is buttered. I finished up the eyes and I put on House of Lashes Siren Flare. Now we're gonna go ahead and use the color Hopscotch. Directly from the tube, I'm just gonna draw it on like a football player, like as my highlight, and then try to blend it in. That's my tactic. I don't know if that's the right tactic, but it is the one I'm gonna use. Okay, it's strong. See if I could just blend it with my finger. Does that work? Because that would be more convenient than having to employ a brush in this scenario. Okay, yeah, it seems to be blending with the finger. I like that. As a matter of fact, a little more. Do a little tippy tap, 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 try to build it up a little bit. Because I like the shade. And as a highlight, it's actually pretty accurate because like, the surface area is so much bigger, so like that small little application is actually kind of perfect. Whereas on the eyes, you can't get it into the nooks and crannies. You know what I mean? I'm gonna draw just like a stripe and a dot on my nose and see how that pans out. At first, it's gonna look like when people Facetune their nose highlight way too hard. Okay, no joke, that looks exactly like Facetune. Blend it with my finger as well. So far, as a highlight, I actually think I really like this. It is pretty accurate. It blends easily with the finger. It's a lot of nose highlight. Like, it's way more than I normally wear. But you know what? whatever, we're here already and we're just rolling with it. As far as like how it applied though, and like being able to blend it, I'm into it. That worked well. However, I am noticing that the chalk is like retreating quickly back into the paper. I'm not stoked about having to peel it to continue using it. Let's see how this goes. Tab, is that where I pull it on this part? I think so. Okay. That was easy enough, and it is perforated, so we like that. We'll just continue putting it where we normally put our highlighter and blending it in. I'm just going to go ahead and grab the brush that I used to put blush on my face earlier, if I can find it. Where are you at, brush? There it is. And just go back over my blush areas to make sure that it all kind of seamlessly blends, and also we don't lose that color on the cheeks because it's the middle of the winter and I need some color because I'm looking rather corpsey lately. You know I had a lot of complaints along the way, and I still do. I stand by those complaints, but also I'm gonna be very honest with you, and it could just be that I haven't worn a brown smoky eye in a long time, but like I feel real pretty and I like it. I like the way this turned out. I'm torn, but let me throw on a quick lip and then we'll talk about it. Ooh, before we talk about it, oh no, we have an interesting development. Okay, the bottom of the chalk, after I put it down, has begun to crumble and also fall everywhere on my desk. Let me see if I can get it nice and close. See what I'm saying? There's like a crack in it already and a little chunk fell out. So that does not bode well for the future of this at all. All right, so, I'm torn here, my friends. I'm torn because, quite frankly, I have not felt this pretty in a face of makeup in quite a while. Like, I feel particularly like I'm looking in the mirror and I really like my own face. Do you know what I mean? And that's not to brag about my face. I just feel like this is particularly soft and flattering, but like still in kind of a sultry way. And I'm into it and I'm feeling it and I'm feeling the vibe. It's good. And the product itself works kind of well. Like, it's not a dense eyeshadowy formula. It definitely has like a chalk stick kind of a vibe to it, in the sense that like it spreads very easily and it's not like super precise, but like it can be worked into a nice soft blend, and it has that chalky application without a chalky finish, if that makes sense. That being said, I don't think the way it's set up in the tube with the paper and like the actual chalk-like thing going on is ideal at all. It's very messy, and I don't think there's any benefit to it being like this outside of catching people's attention to get them to buy it more, you know what I mean? I can definitely understand the need to not put it in a regular pan if it's multi-use, which is how they intend it to be. But I'm thinking it could be better than this, and if I were gonna redesign it, I think that I would do like a twist up crayon kind of a thing, because that way it's contained on both sides, because as we saw, the back of one of them, as soon as I put it down, started cracking and crumbling. Duh, because it's a fucking eyeshadow powder, so if you put it down on a surface like over and over using it, and this wasn't even that many, I didn't even do it that many times, I mean I only used this for one application, it's gonna crack because it's soft. You know, it only makes sense. Do you remember those Tarte lip tints that were like a big crayon that would twist up? I feel like if you put this in one of those types of applicators, it would be way better, and you could still use it in all of the ways they intend them to be usable, but it would be better than this, because the tube and the paper thing is just absolutely not doing it for me. Also, let's talk about the fact that I was absolutely shookington bare at how small they are. They're so small, dude. They're so tiny. They're like way, way smaller than a chapstick. They're teeny weeny, eeny, beeny, beeny, little baby ass sticks. However, there are 2.5 grams in here. Let's see how that compares to other eyeshadows and maybe a highlighter or two. So let's see, Anastasia Beverly Hills Single Shadows, that's a good place to start. They have 1.67 grams in a pan, and this is actually 2.5. Let's take a look at the Makeup Forever Artist colors, because I feel like those are big. The Makeup Forever Artist color eyeshadow in a pan is 2.5 grams, which is the same as this. So maybe these are like on the higher end of average for a single shadow, which makes sense. But when you compare it to another product like a highlighter, which is another one of the ways it's intended to be used, a highlighter is around 7 grams from what I'm looking up on here. They are $18, which is more around single eyeshadow price point. So, I mean, I wouldn't say that for the amount of product that you're getting, it's like a huge ripoff or anything. But when you see them on the internet, they look like they're gonna be like a big hunky chunky sidewalk chalk. And like, this is basically, you know, when you have that teacher in school who only ever has like a half a chalk stick, like there's never an actual full stick of chalk on the little ledge of the chalkboard. There's like those little pieces. This is one of those little pieces. That's exactly the size that it is. It is exactly the size that your teacher who never replaced the chalk sticks used every day of their life. The overall performance of these, as far as like the neatness of them, the storage of them, how I would use them in different situations, I don't think is fantastic, but I do think they work well for certain things. I really liked it as a highlighter. The application as a highlighter was really easy. The application as an eyeshadow I felt worked way better when you used it on a brush, which is fine, but it also defeats the purpose of it being a stick. I don't think these are a huge dud in the sense that they did turn out lovely as a look. I like it. I feel good. I'm feeling so good today. But on a scale from 1 to Gimmick, I'm thinking we're clocking in at like a 7 here. Anyway, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Did you try them? Do you think it's a gimmick? I put a poll on my Instagram story and the vast majority of you guys thought it was gonna be a gimmick, and you weren't wrong. We just weren't like duped into buying something awful this time. Don't forget to leave a like on this video if you found it helpful, or if you just enjoyed hanging out today, because I would really appreciate it. If you're new around here, subscribe, because I would love to have you around for future videos. If you want to hang out with me more often, come find me on Instagram. I'm at Miss Quinface over there. I keep my stories updated all the time. You get to know what's going on behind the scenes, get to see me do other things, you get to see some outfits, and every now and then when I'm feeling froggy, I like to post something a little bit more interesting on my feed. So come find me. I'd love to have you over there as well. I like this look so much that I think I'm gonna leave it on the whole day and wear it to the gym and be that person in the gym with the full face of makeup on today, and I don't even care. I think that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I appreciate you hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next one.